Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kid Lee, and welcome to the final show that I am going to do on E3 2015, taking a look at 5 more of the top games that were shown at the show. Now, real quick, I've got to say, I don't know, something's kind of different. My ear itches. People have been asking me to show off a bunch of my different little hats that I have. So as you've probably noticed in the videos, I've been doing a different hat in every video. And starting in this video, as you can see, I'm starting to get into some of the crazier ones. So you're welcome, people who asked to see my goofy hats. So let's go ahead and kick off this final episode, as I said, with our final 5 games. XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is an upcoming turn-based tactics game that is currently in development by Firaxis Games. This is going to be a sequel to the 2012's XCOM Enemy Unknown. The devs looked at the stats from Enemy Unknown and discovered that more people lost than actually won the game. XCOM 2 is going to be based on that information. The aliens have taken control of Earth, and XCOM has been defeated, more or less. Players take control of Commander of the Avenger, a new mobile base. Players are tasked to give commands to squad members in battles, to fight against aliens during missions, while commanding the engineer and research departments of the base to create and research improved and new gadgets, weapons, and technologies to assist players in battles between missions. Soldiers can be recruited in the game, with each soldier class having their own skill tree and abilities. There will be a few new classes, such as the Ranger and the Specialist, and one of the big changes for XCOM 2 is that the battle maps will be randomly generated, so players will not be faced with the same map twice. And that right there, that was really a big issue in Enemy Unknown. They had about 10 maps or so, and you'd end up doing just the same map over and over and over, and they'd have the aliens or objectives sort of placed around. I played Enemy Unknown. I thought it was really, really great, and seeing all of the changes that they're bringing to XCOM 2 makes me even more excited for this one. So this one looks absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for it. It will be released on the PC in November of 2015. Next up is Anno 2205. Anno 2205 is a city building and economic strategy game with real-time strategy elements that is currently in development by Ubisoft Blue Byte. Unlike the previous installments, which featured a historical setting, Anno 2205 in Anno 2205, players must build buildings or build different cities on Earth. Population increases when more buildings are built. The players are tasked to satisfy and fulfill the needs of their citizens. Besides building houses, players must also produce goods and build infrastructures like robotic production facilities. The game also introduces a session mode, which allows players to control and manage cities on both Earth and the Moon at the same time. Resources vary in different sessions. As a result, players must set up trade routes between their different colonies, so that resources and raw materials from a city can be used in another city. The cities in this game will be 5 times larger than the ones in the previous games, and will support at least 8 different sessions at a time. Now, there's been quite a few of these Anno games that have been released, and I've never played any of them. I've been more of a SimCity person myself, or SimCity Civilization. But this one, since it has sort of its futuristic type look to it, it really has my interest. So this is one that, for me personally, I'm going to be watching very, very carefully when it is released for the PC on 11/3/15. Transformers Devastation. Now, this is another title that has limited information on it. It basically got announced at E3. There was a trailer that was released, which I'm showing, and there were a couple of interviews, but they really didn't talk too much about the game. So here's what I've got for you. Transformers Devastation is an upcoming action game that is being developed by Platinum Games. Devastations will take the Transformers back to its 80s roots with an all-new story featuring cel-shading graphics. The game will also feature a fast combo-based fight system similar to other Platinum games. Some people have been referring to the fight system as the Bayonetta fight system or something similar to that. But overall, I just like how the game looks. That cel shading is a very unique look that only certain games have been doing. But overall, I'd like to know more about it. I believe this is the same dev team, or at least a bunch of the same devs that did the Transformers Fall from Cybertron series, which that was an amazing series. That's pretty much the best Transformers game that's come out in a long time. There's 2 of those if you haven't played them. I think I've got a video on one of them up on my channel, so if you're interested, definitely check that out. But Transformers Devastation will be released for a bunch of systems from a PC, PS3, PS4, 360, Xbox One, sometime later this year. Next up, we've got Cuphead. Now let's stop for a second and take a look at the video that I am showing. This was one of the smash hits from E3. People were just standing around watching this. It was a real WTF moment, like, what am I watching here? Inspired by cartoons from the late 20s, 30s, and 40s, like Steamboat Willie, Cuphead is a run-and-gun platform game that is currently in development by Studio MDHR. As Cuphead, the player loses a bet with the devil and spends the game attempting to repay his bet. The game features a branching level sequence that is based around continuous boss fights. I think I can pretty much say that I've never seen a game quite like this one. I mean, there's other games out there that do the whole platforming deal and stuff that's similar to that, but just looking at this game, if you've ever seen any of those old cartoons from like the 30s, you know, other than maybe it being more colorful, because, you know, back then everything was in black and white, but it just looks very interesting. It looks like it could be a cartoon from those olden days, so to speak. But it's gonna be one to definitely keep an eye on, I think. I'm on the fence about this one. It's like, when it comes out, do I even want to try that? I don't know. I guess I'll have to see more on it. But Cuphead is scheduled for release on the PC, the Xbox One, sometime in 2016, hopefully spring. And then finally, we're going to take a look at Sea of Thieves. This was another game that was announced during the Xbox or the Microsoft press event, and a lot of people were just really interested in what was going on in the trailer. And I think probably the one thing that I heard from most people about this game was, I want to see more, which is always a good sign. So, Sea of Thieves is an upcoming open-world multiplayer adventure game that is being developed by Rare. And anybody who's been playing games for a long time knows that Rare has an extremely good track record with making awesome games. You know, if you don't know, they're responsible for like Banjo-Kazooie and a lot of those old N64 type games. But when I saw the trailer for Sea of Thieves, it reminded me a lot of Guns of Icarus. It's like you and your friends have the ability to get on a ship, and there's sort of substations on the ship. One person is being the captain steering. You got other people who are running the guns and tightening the ropes and, you know, going up to the crow's nest, and you're doing all these things, and you have to work together as a team. But it seems like it's an open world pirate game with sailing and looting and plundering and ship-to-ship battles and all this really, really cool stuff. So I'm pretty much like with everybody else. I simply want to know more. We need more information about it. You know, what do we have for character customization? Is there leveling? Is there, you know, your looting gear to put on your guy? You know, don't really know any of that. But it definitely looks very interesting. So Son of Thieves is PC and Xbox One, again, sometime in 2016. But that, ladies and gentlemen, will go ahead and do it for this video. Again, this is my final video on E3. It was an incredible show this year, one of the best E3s that we've had in a long, long time. So many incredible games coming out. But if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.